All right, welcome back to the Daily Report and welcome to the Marketplace. Tonight we're going to be discussing Saccos. Now, a lot of individuals are signed up on Saccos, but we do see sometimes that the youth are not taking it up so well. We know that most of our parents are in Saccos and they use it to save a lot, but we have been seeing some changes in that particular area. This night, we are having the Cusco managing director who's just going to be telling us how exactly Cusco is doing and how Saccos are doing in extension. I have Arnold Munene with me. But before he even introduces himself, let's take a look at what had happened a little bit earlier with the Cabinet Secretary for MSME Development and Societies and Cooperatives, sorry.
And 67 million and 75 million to various insurance agencies that were purported to be offering insurance business. There were also heavy and big cash movement from Cusco accounts to their staff accounts. And this amounted to over 285 million. There were also inter-subsidiary transfers and also movement of money from the main account held at Cooperative Bank to other accounts. The operation of Kusasa, which is unregulated, yet they are offering regulated services. They are neither registered as a FOSA or a microfinance. Irregular accounts have also been opened for some of the agencies, and the bank accounts are not also indemnified.
All right. Those were pronouncements made a few months ago by the former Cabinet Secretary for MSME Development and Cooperatives pertaining Cusco, which is an umbrella body for Saccos. And today we do have the Managing Director of Cusco, Arnold Munene. Arnold, welcome. A lot of people want to know a lot of things about Saccos, but I believe before we even delve into the future, we should know what happened in the past, right? So what exactly were those pronouncements about? What are the changes that we've seen in Cusco so far?
Thank you very much, and much appreciated to be part of this conversation. Cusco is a union of all Saccos in Kenya. It's an association that is in charge of all the financial cooperatives in Kenya. We stand in a very core position where we advocate and we give Saccos technical and financial services. I agree. The information that you've shared is information that has been there in the public domain, but I just want to reiterate and mention with a lot of commitment to our members that yes, Cusco, we have been going through challenges, and those challenges have been addressed.
Right.
And looking at what has been happening is, one, we've had a change of the board. We have an interim board that is there for 1 year,
right.
Which is coupled with a technical team that is working in revamping, revitalizing Cusco because of some challenges in terms of governance,
right.
Which we have been addressed as we speak. Because right now we have some trajectory and payment and not payment plans. We have a turnaround strategy that we've put in place,
right.
And I can of course share with you what we've done and what we are planning to do.
Arnold, this is a new beginning for Cusco. We do realize how important Saccos are right now, considering that we are seeing a lot of economic challenges, and of course banks are financial firms that people do usually go to, but Saccos are more homely, they're more family oriented, more community based. What are some of the things that you've seen in your tenure in Cusco pertaining, the community aspect of Saccos?
I'll tell you that Saccos are basically community-based. Saccos are institutions. In fact, I'll just tell you, Saccos is just an acronym of savings and credit.
Yes.
They are not for profit. Members join together, common bond, same interest. They'll come together, pool resources together, on lend to one another. Because, you know, in our economy, we have members who, in terms of their savings portfolio, in terms of their income, they are low earners. So they come together, they pull their funds together, they on lend amongst each other, and then now they give out credit on affordable rates, and they share profits at the end of the year. So these co-guaranteeing each other, where even Mama Mboga, where he sits, even a boda rider can take a moment and get financial support, credit, without even producing a title deed. Or being asked, what do you own in your house? Because I have you, I have another brother, and we come together and lend to each other. That is the spirit of the cooperation and cooperatives, so that we bring out that cooperation among cooperatives, that people can come together, pool funds, or lend amongst each other, and uplift themselves socially and economically. And that is the point, and that is the spirit behind the cooperatives.
All right. And we're seeing, as you said, you know, they're pulling funds together with an asset base of more than even $1 trillion shilling. The former Cabinet Secretary, Simon Chelugui, was talking about tripling this within a year because, you know, he was so passionate about growing this. Where exactly is that going so far? Of course, I know you interact with a lot of these Saccos. Are they as, you know, positive about these changes? Where is it going right now?
If you look at the size of our Saccos in this country, I just want to tell you, Saccos is one component of cooperatives. We have several cooperatives. We have marketing cooperatives. We have agricultural cooperatives. We have consumer cooperatives, housing and investment. But now Saccos are financial cooperatives. The largest cooperative in this country has an asset base of 64.3 billion, which is Mwalimu National. Actually, it's the largest cooperative in Kenya, in Africa and in Kenya. Followed by Stima Sacco with slightly above 53 billion, and then Kenya Police for the police force with around 48.6 billion. Now, cooperatives have come together. And to answer your question, how we have accelerated the savings and the deposit growth is that cooperatives have also adopted technology where now they are encouraging even the youth, the Gen Zs, that we are now moving from the old, our great-grandmother's model to a model where we are not going to look at the banking halls. We want you to be a Sacco member from your house. That you can join a Sacco, you can register as a member through digital platforms, you can save, you can borrow, you can repay your loans, and you can also get information because now Saccos have started engaging with their members so that they accelerate the capacity building so that members get the financial literacy and they know what is the need and why should I save in a Sacco. One thing I'll tell you, allow me to just digress a bit and give you some good stories. I've talked about the three largest Saccos in Kenya and in Africa. I'll tell you, in Africa, we are ranked the best in terms of the cooperative movement. In the world, we are ranked number 7. That tells you how huge the cooperative movement is in Kenya. As I am telling you about these big Saccos, 2 weeks ago, we were going around the counties, and I got 3 unique cases that I would want to share with Kenyans today. One is a case in Nanyuki. Nanyuki, they have a Sacco of bodabodas. Those boda riders, they are saving 50 shillings. 50 shillings a day. These 50 shillings and the number of members they have come together, they have aggregated that, and they have an estate in Nanyuki, where they have constructed 2 rooms for these bodabodas, and they have 60 units. That tells you 50 shillings, and I'm happy the conversation we're having about the Hustler Fund. That it tells you that 50 shillings can be brought together slowly, and it can give you a house. Moving on from Nanyuki, I'll take you to Western.
We're traversing the counties.
to Western, there is a Sacco that has brought together villagers, different villages, women, men, from businesses, poultry farmers, livestock farmers, and what they have done is that through their savings, they have been able to start dairy farming. They have bought cows. Through cooperatives, through the savings they have, the loans they have, they have started poultry farming. And those are the conversations and the testimonies that you want to hear. Let's go to Mombasa. You've gone to Mombasa, you've seen those craftsmen, they have curios, they have cabins. So they are Sacco, they are a cooperative, marketing cooperative. They have aggregated these cabins. They have looked for a showroom. They have decided, let us sell our cabins in this one showroom so that we have a better bargaining power. And then all the proceeds that we get, we remit to our Sacco so that we can also uplift ourselves and even do more and bigger things.
All right, Arnold.
That tells you how good these things are.
But we do see that some of the, subscriptions and memberships are going down. We will be discussing that in a bit. Remember, you can send us your question on our SMS line 22047. Our WhatsApp number is going to be on the screen. You can also reach us on social medias at TV47 News on X, at TV47KE on Facebook, or you can send them to me directly at Hibak Said on all those socials. Now, as I was asking, of course, the membership has gone down. We are seeing that Saccos are not as trendy with the youth. Gen Zs maybe are not, they're not connecting with it as much as our parents did, as much as the older generations did. Why do you think this is?
I'll say this. I will tell you that the numbers are not going down. We have 14 million cooperators right now, Kenyans who are members of cooperatives. But I agree, we have opportunities of bringing the youth to our space. What cooperatives have done is, number one, we have understood what attracts the youths. One is our identity. I do not want to relate or associate with a Sacco that used to be in the name of my father's fathers, those old days, because youths want to be identified with institutions or things that they can relate to. Number two, after Saccos have rebranded and they have come up with products and services that are attractive, that they meet the needs of the youths, they have gone ahead and done a lot of capacity building just to get the youth understand why Saccos. And I'll tell you a statement that you will agree with me today. There's one thing that money promises you. Save me today, I'll save you tomorrow. The youths and the Saccos have now embraced technology. That today, because the youths are always in their phones, in their computers, in internet, so Saccos have got into that space. That they're telling you, you don't have to come to a branch, you don't have to come and fill papers. You can join our Sacco through our online platforms. You can save, you can borrow. You don't have to meet me physically. I am there for you. And that's why in this space of cooperatives, we have to tell the youths that young man who has a movie store, that young man who has a car wash, that it is okay. You can grow that business from a car wash to a garage. You can, the creative industries, we laugh, we're happy, and we can come together and you come up with a big industry when you pull yourselves together in the spirit of cooperation, because you might not have the assets, but you have the muscles to save a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Then you lend to the other person. That's why cooperatives, we have this spirit of co-guaranteeing, that I'll guarantee you that in case you don't pay me, your co-guarantor will come in and pay off the loans. So that brings in that freedom and that openness and that inclusion that we can propel the youths to greater heights in terms of
We will be delving into the digital aspect of Saccos a little bit later, but first, maybe something that's a bit more pertinent is the fact that, you know, there was a pronouncement by the former CS once again, Simon Chelugui, talking about having a joint base, a central base, like in the banks, in order to ensure that all Saccos can co-borrow. How is that working out? Is that an initiative that's still ongoing? Are we going to be seeing that in the future? How is that building up?
That is basically what we call a shared services platform where Saccos can bring in their pool of savings together and lend to each other, like what the banks will do overnight lending. Right. Now, as Cusco, let me talk about the union. We have had a product which is basically a Sacco for Saccos. And what that product used to do and what it's actually doing is we pull funds from Saccos, small Saccos, monthly basis. If there's a Sacco that has a financial constraint, you don't have to rush to any mainstream financial institution because the interest rate might be very hefty. So you come in and borrow from a centralized pool of savings that you've gotten from Saccos, and then you on lend to your members, because the thing and the most pertinent thing is service to the member. Right. That you don't have to get a member coming to your doorstep as a Sacco asking for a loan and you're telling them, oh, wait, give us time, we'll give you in tranches. We want to build that confidence to our members that Saccos are safe, convenient, affordable. Right.
Now, you've brought in a very interesting aspect. When it comes to banks, a lot of people now might say, I'm already a member of a bank. Why exactly should I even go to a Sacco? I can borrow from a bank. I know this bank. I've been interacting with it over and over again. And also, when you're going into a Sacco, there are all these, stages that you must go to. You must get people who can vouch for you, guarantors even. What is the main difference? How exactly are Saccos either more convenient or less convenient than banks?
Saccos, as I said, they are member-owned. They are in fact, the model for Saccos is very unique. That you are the owner and you are the member, or rather the customer. So the owner means that you've bought share capital, you own ownership in the Sacco, and as an owner you have a say. One, in terms of governance structures, you have a voice, one man, one vote.
Right.
Two, you'll be called for an annual general meeting where you're going to discuss the audited books of accounts. You look at how your savings were spent, the loans you gave, did you make profit? If there were surpluses that you made, well and good, you will share equally. You will be able to access affordable credit because you also determine the rates at which you're going to be given credit. When it comes to even leadership, you as a member, you have the powers to make decisions. Who will lead and who is going to take ownership in terms of leadership of your Sacco. So what I'm trying to say is you are coupling as the member, as an owner, you are making decisions, you are critiquing your books. And you can even direct and you can even remove and dismiss the board as a member. You have the right. So, but in this other side, it's a bit complicated and again, it does not allow everyone because Saccos also allow membership voluntary. You come in, voluntary, you can exit, there's no one who's going to push you, and it's something that brings the community spirit which we are trying to drive. So that is majorly the difference between this other side and the Saccos.
All right, Arnold, you just mentioned auditing, and now we have to go to your house, Cusco.
Yes.
Right, and there were issues that were raised by the former cabinet secretary, systematic deficiencies in managing of finances, unreliable records, high cash withdrawals of almost 5.4 billion, high cash transfers. These are things that happened a few months ago, and I'm pretty sure that it tainted the image before you even came in. How exactly are those issues being solved? What are your Saccos saying? How is Cusco faring on?
Thank you very much. As I mentioned, Cusco is now on a recovery trajectory. We are revitalizing, we are bringing reforms. I want to take this opportunity first to thank the government for giving us a standalone Ministry of Cooperatives. Over the years, we've not enjoyed that space.
Right.
And I want to confirm that we have goodwill and a lot of commitment from the Office of the Cabinet Secretary,
Right.
The Office of the Principal Secretary, the Office of the Commissioner, and we're working with the regulator. In the Sacco sector, we have a Sacco Society Regulatory Authority,
Right.
so that we bring in regulations to the institutions.
Right.
So the reforms we're trying to bring is to tighten and our governance structures. We are also looking at the issues of our financial management, issues of our bylaws. We want to review them so that our policies are also in line, coming up with a strategic plan that is in line with the core mandate
Right.
of the institution. What we want Cusco to do is to stand and redefine
Right.
our role as advocates for Saccos.
Right.
We advocate for an enabling environment, policy, legislation, issues of taxation, issues of non-remittances from employers, so that when we speak as Cusco,
Right.
we are speaking to the heart of the member, because all these things are geared towards enhancing service delivery,
Right.
safety of funds to our members. And that's why we have come up in terms of revitalizing even our product offerings.
Right.
As much as we're trying to redefine our advocacy, we want also to bring our product offerings in terms of trainings. We also include governance. Cusco will be a center of governance.
Right.
Like other industries, if you become a board member of any Sacco or any insurance company, you have to go through a training on governance before you are fully accepted into those boards. So Cusco, we want to have that culture in the sector where anyone who is elected in board positions,
Right.
you go through a governance training, whether it can be an open book exam or anything. We would want to inculcate that good corporate governance so that we can give confidence to our Kenyans and to the public that the shilling
Right.
that you're saving in a Sacco is safe.
Right. Considering that, Kenya has one of the worst saving cultures, in the continent.
Yes. Allow me just to go back and just mention a few things. Cusco, again, we are also doing a statutory audit so that the information we can get to the core and to know the financial position that we are going through. We have an international firm that is doing that.
Right.
We're also doing a forensic audit through PwC, which is going just to give us the position, and so that we have statistics and data that we can stand with. That's why today I cannot give you conclusive, because we have some audit that is ongoing, and within 60 days
Right.
we are going to have an engagement with our members so that we can share with them the progress we're making, the reports, so that we can move together. But I'm happy.
Right.
I've gone round to all the regions. We have engaged our members. It's part of our recovery, so that we also show transparency and accountability and openness in this story. Because what Cusco does, even the primary Saccos
Right.
will also adopt. We are a mirror of the primary cooperatives and Saccos in Kenya and across the continent.
All right.
Yes.
Arnold, the Kenya Kwanza government has been big on cooperatives and growing cooperatives, because I even remember when Dr. William Ruto was becoming the president of this nation, he did say that cooperatives is something that we've abandoned, considering they used to be used to run so many things, especially in, mashinani remote areas. Now, when it comes to these cooperatives and even cooperative movements, would you say that in the last 2 years there has been significant changes? How exactly are cooperatives and even Saccos, pushing the Kenya Kwanza, agendas? Is it, a dream that's coming to life? It's been 2 years. Is it coming to fruition?
Yes. I'll say that the dream is coming to life because we've seen cooperatives in value chains. Like dairy cooperatives. I'll just say, for example, my old mom at home, who's a retiree,
Right.
She has a few cows, and every morning she'll tell me I've taken milk to our dairy cooperative for cooling, processing. And then, I mean, it has grown. It has not ended to the point where we were using the old traditional way of cooperatives, but we have already accelerated because the value addition in dairy farming, even in agriculture, where cooperatives are giving members the inputs, they are assisting them in the farming, the planting, the harvesting, the processing, the marketing, a whole value chain. And I believe the government, in terms of agriculture, in terms of housing, we have so many housing cooperatives that have, I've given you example of a Boda, that housing, as we are trying to align ourselves with the government agenda of affordable housing, cooperative is contributing significantly in that. If you look at financial inclusion, Saccos have done that. We have gone down to the least, the mama mboga, so that even the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, I believe cooperatives are living to it. And this is why the government has always mentioned and given statements that cooperatives are the engines of transformation. This is a community because we are dealing with the least or the lowest in the pyramid, and you are bringing them up in a spirit where we are telling them it is okay. You don't have to have anything. We just need to have the spirit of cooperation, and you can make it in life. We have, and I'll tell you, I have had testimonies that we have converted tenants to landlords. There is a Sacco for women here in Nairobi that has enhanced their members. It has given loans to those women, and they own fleet of buses here in this town. Doing major things and big things. And those are testimonies that we want to share to Kenyans, that it is possible. And the government is in support of these initiatives. And we are looking forward as Cusco to promote, to make sure that Kenyans and Saccos have a conducive environment for them to thrive and grow.
All right, we will be talking about that even further. You can send in your questions. Let's go on a very short break. We'll be right back.